I'd like to discuss one more neat trick that Numpy will allow us to do very easily. Numpy has a numpy.dot function that will allow us to easily take the dot product between two vectors. Let's walk through what it means to take the dot product first. Let's say I had an array called A, whose values were 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then I had an array called B, whose values were 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. These two vectors are indexed in the following way. Let's say that the 0th entry of A is 1, and the 0th entry of B is 2, and the first entry of A is 2, and the first entry of B is 3, and so on. The way that we take the dot product is we say we're going to multiply together the 0th entry of the two arrays, and then we're going to add that to the sum of the first entry of the two arrays, and then we're going to add that to the product of the second entry of the arrays, and so on. So in this case we end up with 1 times 2, plus 2 times 3, plus 3 times 4, plus 4 times 5, plus 5 times 6, which is 70. We could easily do this in NumPy using numpy.dot. Just watch. Here I define A and B just as we did a moment ago. If we just say numpy.dot AB, I get 70. I can also use the numpy.dot function to multiply arrays into matrices. If you're not familiar with how to multiply an array into a matrix, you should follow the online resources found in the instructor notes. But for now, just know that if we had this array, 1, 2, and this matrix, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, we would essentially multiply them together and get an array where the first entry is 1 times 2 plus 2 times 3, the second entry is 1 times 4 plus 2 times 5, and the third entry is 1 times 6 plus 2 times 7. If we perform this multiplication down here, we would get a 2-entry array where the top entry is 2 times 8 plus 4 times 9 plus 6 times 10, and the bottom entry is 3 times 8 plus 5 times 9 plus 7 times 10. Since these multiplications don't commute, numpy.dot is smart enough to throw an error if you try to ask it to do something that doesn't make sense. Let's say I wanted to perform this multiplication right here, and I called this guy A and this guy B. I could simply call numpy.dot AB, and what I get back is 8, 14, 20. Just as we would get if we performed this arithmetic here.